It's 6:03, and student loans. Last week, huge conversation starter. Still going on this morning. President Biden, of course, announcing that a lot of people will have their student loans canceled.
Maybe even discussion is the word.
Yeah.
Rather than conversation. A lot of strong feelings. Our Scripps national correspondent Joe St. George joins us live from Washington with when the cancellation hits the accounts and the legal challenges to this entire process. Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a lot of questions about where we go from here, and we'll get to the big question mark here in a second. I think we could put on screen what we know in terms of the timeline for when this will start hitting your credit reports, when this will start impacting your accounts from whoever services your federal loan. We're talking about an online application, so Americans are still going to have to log on, submit what we are told is going to be a simple application in early October. From there's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks worth of processing time. That's according to White House officials who've briefed reporters here in D.C. on the plan. But the big question mark is whether or not a lawsuit gets in the way of all of this. A number of conservatives, certainly in the tri-state elsewhere, have criticized this decision by President Biden to cancel loans. A lawsuit is expected, but the question is who's going to sue. It's unlikely that someone who is receiving forgiveness is going to sue. That's against their financial interests. That may be the case if the Republicans can find someone. There's been talk if the House of Representatives takes back the House in the midterm elections this November, could they sue challenging President Biden's authority to cancel this debt? And what would a pending lawsuit do for the cancellation process? Those are the question marks, which means we're going to have to still follow this thing for the next few weeks until forgiveness actually hits your account.
Absolutely. Joe, we have some other questions as well, including I was trying to rack my brain when I saw this. I don't remember the last time that the president gave a primetime speech, but it's about to happen. The White House says this is about the battle for the soul of the nation, which sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, he doesn't give a lot of primetime addresses, but on Thursday, President Biden is going to deliver a primetime speech from Philadelphia. He's delivered big speeches from Philadelphia before. It's a favorite location of his. One, it's close to his hometown, and two, there's some powerful images that he can use as a backdrop for when he speaks to the country on Thursday in Philadelphia. We have seen his rhetoric intensify in the last several weeks regarding what he refers to as MAGA Republicans and how they are hurting the soul of the country. But look, we're 10 weeks away today from the midterm election. The president, this is not going to be billed as a political speech, but everything the president does is always somewhat viewed in the political prism. We'll have to pay attention to this to see if this impacts the polls in a state like Ohio, which has a big Senate race between J.D. Vance and Tim Ryan. What does he say? Could it move the needle at all? And what's going to be a close race come election night?
It almost feels a little risky. We'll see what he comes out with. The soul of the nation. All right. Thank you, Joe St. George, live in Washington for us this morning.